Ladies and gentlemen, we on our way to pick up the new M4 sky blue, icy blue, frosty blue, something blue M4 MacBook Air. I'm just about to pull up right now into the shopping mall. But yeah, we're gonna pick this up. We just kind of decided to start this video off like a vlog. It's such a nice sunny day outside today. Like, it is just beautiful outside. So yeah, this is what we got going on right now. I don't even know if this footage looks good because it's kind of dark in the car. I got the windows tinted, but hopefully it'll be fine. We're about to find a spot, about to go in and get the MacBook, and I'll touch base with you in a second. We're gonna do an unboxing, we're gonna take a look at everything, and hopefully do a setup and maybe just run a few apps. Our boys and girls secured the MacBook Air, currently making our way back to the car. It's about like 1 p.m. right now. Alright, so here we go. Here we have it, guys. The M4 MacBook Air in the brand new, like, sky blue, frosty blue. I don't even know what the official color for this thing is. Let me flip it around and have a quick look again. Does it even say on the freaking box which one it is? But yeah, anyway, so this is the M4 chip, 16 gigabytes of RAM. I think this is kind of like a standard now with the M4. You can't really get I haven't seen a single product from Apple with the M4 chip that does not have 16 gigabytes of RAM. So this brand new 16, I was gonna say 16 inch, but this is the 15 inch. It's kind of my favorite spot, like my favorite size for the MacBook Air in general. I just think it's a very popular one and I think people like it. So moment of truth. There we go, here we have it. Now it looks very blue here, but I've seen it in person and it looked very like silver and white in a lot of cases. And I think it's gonna be the same case for like, and I think this colorway is going to be very similar, or it's going to have a lot of hints of like other colors. So first of all, this is the MacBook. Let's get into it. Take the paper off here. Oh, that is nice. Okay, but yo, that is a nice MacBook. I really like the thin, the form factor of these MacBooks. But yo, immediately look at those fingerprints. Can you guys even see that? Immediately love this really nice frosty blue color. I hope you guys can pick this up on camera. I mean, here I'm looking at the preview and it's kind of looking a little bit like silver and whatnot, but I'm gonna be opening this in a second. It looks really nice. It has this really unique color. I think it's very nice. Now here's my only complaint about the MacBook in general, just like the MacBook Air, is that it just lacks a little bit of power and it really has no ports. So unfortunately, that's something that we gotta deal with. But here, we have designed by Apple in California. Let's see if we get any stickers. I really don't think that we get stickers anymore. So yeah, no stickers. Nice. There's a quick guide on how to set up this thing if you know you're unfamiliar. I kind of want to say like, oh, in case you've never had a MacBook, but maybe you haven't. Maybe you're watching this video and you're like, I don't know, 12 years old, or you're getting your first MacBook. So maybe this would be useful for you. But yeah, nothing really in here. We do have one of their power bricks, and this is the dual mounted, the dual port USB-C power brick. It is 35 watts only, so it's not all that crazy. It's not all that powerful, but you know, it gets the job done. 2 USB-C slots. You can charge your MacBook and your phone, I guess, or whatever you want to charge. It's pretty nice. It feels kind of sturdy, actually. It does feel high quality, so I like that. But we also have a color coordinated cable, which is kind of cool, with this baby blue, light blue color for the cable, actually, that really does match the color of the actual MacBook itself. So I'm just gonna put this to the side here. So with that aside, this is what we got here. We got this, and we got the cable here, which is braided. It's nice. It feels good. This is gonna become a little bit less rigid over time. The more you use it, the better it's gonna be. Here we go. We have the brand new sky blue, icy blue MacBook Air. I'm not exactly sure how to best showcase the color. Here we go. You can take a look at how thin this thing is. Man, I really wish I could have a workflow with the MacBook Air. That would be ideal. I mean, I could spec this out, you know, M4, get more RAM, 24 gigs of RAM and everything, but the MacBook Pro still is super powerful and like undisputed at this point. And I mean, look, you get 2 USB-C ports, you know, MagSafe, and then you get the auxiliary jack. I mean, it's really insufficient for me, but here we go. Enough yapping. Let's jump right into this and have a quick look inside. Oh, I like that. This blue is so nice. Now, let me move this closer so you guys can get a satisfying peel here. It never gets old. That's always a very pleasant experience. Here we go, 15-inch MacBook Air. It really is a nice size. Like I really love this 15-inch format. I think it's great. It's one of the best ones that there is. So what I'm gonna do is actually we're gonna get into a little bit of a setup. But yeah, this is what it looks like. This is what it feels like. Very thin, very razor thin. I really do love this form factor. And like I said, wish it came with more power because I would be rocking this because I really love how thin it is. Let's get into a setup. Let's see how we can make this run, and I'll give you guys a bit of a rundown on all the stuff on it. The MacBook has officially been set up. So now this one does come with Apple Intelligence pre-installed. All right, so these new MacBook M4, they do come with Apple Intelligence pre-installed. They are optimized for Apple Intelligence, but I do want to point something out. You don't necessarily need to have an M4, an M3 chip to have Apple Intelligence. From what I was able to understand, all machines that have an M1 at the very least can run Apple Intelligence, so you don't necessarily need that. Actually, I decided to set this computer up as a fresh one, download things as I go, so I don't think I'm gonna be downloading a bunch of stuff off the get-go, off the fly. But one thing I can immediately point out is like the screen quality just doesn't seem to be all that freaking nice. Like, it's good, it's a good display, and I'm sure it plays videos really well and all that stuff, which we're actually going to launch one of my videos on the channel, or just going to watch something on YouTube just to see what it looks like. But there seems to be kind of like, it's just not all that crisp, all that sharp. Open Safari really quickly. It seems to be, you know, see how fast it loads things. It seems to be running fine. Again, one of the things I don't really like is the fact that it has the 60 hertz refresh rate. Not a big fan of that. I really do wish it wasn't that, because it's a very powerful computer, right? So you have a very powerful machine, and then you're stuck with this like slow screen, and then the resolution of the screen is also not all that great. So if we go here on the side of my channel, we'll be able to see some of the stuff here. Let's, for example, pick one of the speakers. Seem to be really fine. Let's see if we go here. It's running really well. Like, it's running fine. It's doing okay, but there's something about the clarity and the crispiness of the screen that I don't know, I'm just not really a big fan of.
The idea was to focus on building something personal.
Speakers are okay, but are they great? Not really.
I wanted to keep things minimal. Behind every desk,
I mean, obviously you're never going to compete with those speakers in the MacBook Pro, but
the desk I'm using is an automated desk from FlexiSpot.
Now, I do have to admit that I love the form factor. I think this 15-inch form factor is perfect, and I love that it's super thin, like razor thin. This is nice. It's so portable and compact. You can bring it anywhere. This is really good. I love that. I'm so used to the power of the MacBook Pro that I have that I'm not really sure if I can get behind this. Obviously, it's going to be kind of like a readjustment to do naturally, because I'm going from like a really like a high refresh screen, more crisp display, and all of that to something that's a little bit less. Not necessarily worse, but you know, there's just less around it. You know, obviously they can't give you all of the specs they give you in the Pro on this one, because then there's just no reason for you to buy the Pro. But I'm gonna be actually giving this computer a chance. We're gonna get into it. I hopefully want to do a day in the life with this thing. I'm gonna be fully setting it up, download a bunch of apps, a lot of the things that I use, some of the editing apps that I use. I'm just gonna get into everything and see how it performs. Now, I am gonna download Geekbench really quickly on this, and we're gonna do a Geekbench score just so I can give you guys a bit of an idea of how that runs. And we're gonna get into a more like in-depth review in the day in the life. And so we're gonna get in further detail into that. So if you wanna see that and you wanna have more information on this MacBook, then make sure you subscribe to the channel and you don't miss out on that, so you're posted on information when that comes out. But yes, let's just download Geekbench. We're gonna do a little Geekbench score. We're seeing the numbers, and we'll talk in a minute. All right, so let me up the brightness here on this laptop really quickly. The Geekbench scores are in, so we are looking at a single core of 3,593 and 14,404 1.46 on the multi-core. Bro, this is kind of crazy. Hold on. The thing is, it says model Mac 16, Mac 13. I think that's slightly wrong because this one's supposed to be 15. And so that's what I'm a little bit confused about. Now here you can check the CPU information. So it has Apple M4, 10 core CPU. This is basically, it has 16 gigabytes of RAM and everything. So it's showing you the performance on all of these, all of these little things that it's calculating within those Geekbench numbers. So this is what you can expect on that. File compression 1.4 gigabytes a second. That is really impressive, actually. That's pretty good. I'm actually very impressed by this multi-core performance. I do want to bring out my M1 Pro MacBook Pro and just kind of give you guys a bit of a comparison. So here we go, guys. We got the M1 Pro MacBook Pro. This is my go-to everyday laptop. I've been running this thing for a better part of a long time now. By the way, anybody on my screen right now, if you're Gregging your due set and you know what I'm talking about, then you're an OG. What I'm gonna do is I have so many things on this MacBook here. This is why I decided to kind of like start fresh on this one, because I wanted to be able to give myself a chance on this new MacBook and just kind of like download all of the things that I need. But this is very similar. So it has 16 gigabytes of RAM as well. This was the default at the time when these MacBooks came out. So we're gonna run a CPU benchmark here and see exactly what we're looking at. I'm actually really surprised to see, I know the single core score is gonna be rather similar. It might be at 4,000 on this one, but this, I'm very curious to see how it compares to the multi-core score. I'm very impressed by this number. It seems very, very high. I was not expecting it to be at 14,000. I was thinking it's gonna be around like 10,000, maybe 11,000, but 14,000 is kind of insane. So we're gonna let this down. We're gonna let this do its thing, and I'll catch with you guys in a second. So, ladies and gentlemen, the numbers are in. This is kind of impressive here. We're looking at 2416 for the MacBook Pro and 10,000. This is around the numbers that I was expecting for the MacBook Pro, and I've run a few Geekbench scores in the past for this machine. So this is kind of something that I was already anticipating and expecting. But as you guys can see, this single core score on the normal M4 chip compared to the M1 Pro is still a really considerable difference. It is almost twice as much. Now, obviously, it is like 500 points shy of being double, but it's closer than further from it. It actually did run the Geekbench score a little faster on the MacBook Air than on the M1 Pro. So that's also something to take in consideration. But yeah, overall, I mean, the numbers are on the screen, guys. They don't lie. Now, also, I think it's fair to point out that this is a base model of the M4 MacBook Air. It really has just the basics. So it's the 15-inch, 256 gigabytes of SSD, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and the M4 chip. Like I said, standard right now for all M4 devices is 16 gigabytes of RAM. So do expect to have more RAM by default. I don't even think you need to upgrade at this point. 16 gigabytes is more than enough. So that's a wrap up on the M4 MacBook Air. Like I said, small video, mainly for the unboxing, mainly to showcase you guys some of the small things here and there. Just wanted to show you guys a bit of the Geekbench performance. Wanted to show you guys a little bit of the MacBook itself. Form factor, obviously 15 inches, nothing new. It's just a refresh on the chip itself. But we got this brand new light blue, kind of like icy frosty blue colorway, and I really wanted to showcase you guys this on the video, and that's basically it. Like I said, stick around. There's gonna be a day in the life. We're gonna dive deep into this machine and see what it's all about, performance, all of that stuff, how it holds up, battery life. So if you want to see that video, which I know most of you guys will, go ahead, click the subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys very shortly. I want to say thank you so much for watching this video. If you've made it to the end of the video, make sure you leave a comment. It really does help the channel. It helps boost the video and it pumps it up in the algorithm. So help your boy out. Leave a comment. It only takes a few seconds. With that said, I'll see you in the next one. Take care, deuces, and also really quickly, for those of you curious about the day in the life, give me like 2 weeks. Give me like 2 weeks and I'll do it. Give me like 2 weeks. I need to edit it a little bit and then it's out. I got you, I promise.